Hello, in this lecture I will talk about chapter 9 from the great poem The Night in the Panther Skin. The title of chapter 9 is The Letter Written by NESTAN-DAREDJAN to her beloved Tariel. Actually, NESTAN-DAREDJAN wrote the letter to her beloved Tariel when she was in the captivity of the demons. Actually, it was her second abduction by the Kajis, the demons, and they held her in captivity in a very tall tower, and she wrote the letter from her captivity. I will read stanza number 1292. Now when she's sobbing, crying, white to her beloved. The first line, the meaning of the first line is Nestan wrote the letter while she was sobbing and crying. The second line of stanza 1292 is by the tears of those who burn it in the fire of the flame of his love for her, the pain fades. The meaning of the second line is Nestan's tears caused Tariel's flames to fade. Line number 3, she wrote a letter that penetrates the hearts of those who hear its contents. The meaning of the third line is Nestan wrote a very moving letter that touches the hearts of those who read its content. The fourth line is she splits the rose, then the transparent crystal appears. The meaning, first of all, there are two images in the fourth line. The first image is Nestan's mouth that resembles to a rose, and the second image is of Nestan's teeth that resembles to a transparent crystal. So I will read again line 4 from stanza 1292. She splits the rose, that is to say opens her mouth, then the transparent crystal appears, that is to say her teeth appears. So the meaning of the sentence is that when she opens her mouth, the teeth appear. So when she opens her mouth that resembles to a rose, then her teeth that resembles to transparent crystal appears. Okay? Stanza number 1293. Oh my love, this letter I sent to you, it's my handiwork. The meaning of the first line is that Nestan says to her beloved that the letter she wrote was done by herself only, without any help from others. The second line is I used my body as a stylus and and as a ink I used the tears I had shed. So there are two images in the second line. The first image is the stylus that resembles to NESTAN's body, and the second image is the ink that resembles to the tears that she shed when she wrote the letter. So I will repeat again. On the second line, I used my body as a stylus, okay, and as a ink I used the tears that I had shed, okay. The third line of stanza 1293, as a paper I glued your art even to my art. So there is a third image in line 3, and actually the paper on which you wrote the letter resembles to the glued art of her and her beloved Tariel, okay? So the paper in which you wrote the letter resembles to their glued arts, okay? The arts of Tariel and her beloved and NESTAN-DAREDJAN. And the meaning of the third line is that the letter NESTAN sent was written from the bottom of her heart, okay? The fourth line of stanza 1293, oh heart, black and sad heart, you are bound, may you remain bound forever to his heart. The meaning of the third line is that NESTAN's wish is that her heart will always be bound to her lover's heart, Tariel. She also mentions that her heart is black and sad. That is because of all her troubles that she underwent during her miserable life. Actually, she was abducted twice. The first abduction was by the Indian kidnappers, and she was served by NESTAN. And now we are in the second abduction by the Kajis, by the demons, and she is in their captivity, held in the top of the long tower. So we can deduce from it that she undergo a lot of troubles in her life, and for that reason she wrote that her art is a black art, and said black and sad art, okay? Stanza number 1294. Do you see, my love, what deeds the fate is doing? No matter how much sunlight the sun brings down on us, for me it's always dark. The meaning of the second line in stanza 1294 is that actually the stanza says that because of my bad luck, I'm always sad and depressed. Okay, the third line is the wise know it, and therefore they despise it. For them fate is contemptible. So the wise know it, it is the fate, so the wise know the fate, and therefore they despise it. Okay? Because of the fact that the wise people are familiar with the fate, they hate the fate. Line number 4 in stanza 1294. My life without you, oh my, how hard it is. So the meaning of the line 4 is, the star says that she cannot live without her beloved Tariel. Stanza number 1295. Do you see, my love, how 8 and 10 times separated us? So in the first line of stanza 1295, Nestan puts the blame of their separation on the fate. Okay? The second line, I'm not happy to see you anymore, my dear. What can the art worshipped by you really do without you? The meaning of the third line is that the star says that I would worship you, Tariel, as long as we were together. Now my life is worth nothing, that we are separated from each other. Line 4 of stanza 1295. The secret thought will reveal to you the Eden, where the demons hide me. So a secret thought will reveal you the Eden is actually the Eden is where is the place in which the demons hide Nestan. But one can ask why is Nestan's place of captivity Eden? After all, in stanza 1200, after all, in stanza 1300, she tells her lover Tariel that she is being held in a high castle. So if she tells Tariel that she held in a high castle or high tower, so we all know that where she held in captivity. So why the place is Eden? In my opinion, it is possible that there are many fortified castles in the land of the demons, so it is not possible to know in which castle the star is being held captive. Stanza number 1296. By your son, until now I thought you were dead. The meaning of the first line is that the star says to her lover Tariel that I swear on your life that until now I thought you were dead. As for me, I thought my life and all my resources were spent. The meaning of the second line is that as soon as I thought you were dead, My life was a life of sadness and depression. Line number 3. Now when I hear news from you, I praise the Creator and glorify Him. The meaning of the third line is that now that I know that you are alive, I am grateful to God. The fourth line of stanza 1296 is, all my troubles are equal to the joy associated with knowing that you are alive. So the meaning of the fourth line is that Nestan loves Tariel so much that she says Nestan loves Tariel so much that she says that all her troubles, all the troubles she had in her life up until now are worth the one and only knowledge that Tariel is alive. So that is how much she loves Tariel. Stanza number 1227. Your life is enough for me so that my heart will be filled with hope. The meaning of the first line is that the knowledge that you are alive makes me happy and strong. The second line is a heart so wounded and burned. So the meaning of the second line is that Nestan's heart is black and sad because all the troubles that she underwent during her life. She abducted twice. The third line of stanza 1227 is, think of me, remember me as a person lost to you. Line number 4. I sit and take care of the love I planted. The meaning of line 4 is that the only thing that left to me to do is to think about our great love. Okay, stanza number 1298. I have no ability to express my story on my own. The meaning of the first line is that the story about me is so adventurous, full of hardships and so exciting that I cannot tell it myself. My tongue, the second line is, my tongue gets tired. No one will believe what his ears have heard. Line 3. Batman saved me from the Indian kidnappers. May God protect her. The meaning of the third line is that in my first kidnapping by the Indians, Batman was the one who saved me from them. May God save her from all trouble and distress and from all harm and illness. The fourth line is, now once again the cruel fate did what it saw fit to do. The meaning of the fourth line is that now cruel fate has done what is accepted or what is expected of it. Stanza number 1299. fate has now added more sorrow to my present troubles. The second line of stanza 1299 is, my bad luck was not satisfied with the already existing suffering, which consisted of many pains. The meaning of the second line is that the cruel fate was not satisfied with the trouble and suffering it had caused me until now. Line number 3. And again he delivered me into the hands of sorcerers whom it is difficult to fight. The meaning of the third line is that it is impossible to rescue me from the captivity because of the fact that the demons are very strong fighters. The fourth line, fate has caused us, my love, all the troubles that have befallen us. Again, the meaning of the fourth line is that again Nestan blames the fate for all the troubles that they have. Tariel himself also suffers and cries and sobs all the time since he killed the tigress he loved so much. When his intention was to save her from the aggressive lion, and she didn't stop eating and scratching him with her palms until finally he was forced to eat her, and this eat caused her death. And since that tragic event, he has not stopped crying and sobbing and grieving for the death of the tigress. And as a sign of her as a sign of mourning for the death of the tigress, he turned her skin into a coat that he always wears, so that the tigress always remains in his heart and soul until the day he dies. The tigress in the poem is so important that it is actually the name of the poem, the knight in the panther skin. That is to say, the knight who wears the skin of the tigers he killed. Okay? And the reason for the importance of the tigress is because the tigress's face resembles the face of Nestan, and Nestan is the beloved of the hero of the poem, Tariel. And now Tariel's grief is double. He mourns both the death of the tigress and the abduction of Nestan by the demons. Okay, stanza number 1300. I sit in a castle so high that my eyes can barely see the ground. The meaning of the first line is that the castle where I am held captive by the demons is so high that when I look down I can barely see the ground. The second line, the entrance to the tower is for a closed tunnel, above which there are guards. The meaning of the second line is that the only entrance to the tower is through a closed tunnel. Okay? Line number 3 of stanza 1300. Day and night, guards secure the tunnel and wait for their turn in their watch. The meaning of the third line is that the guards secure the entrance to the tunnel 24 hours a day and are very eager to start the shift. And are very eager to start their shift. The fourth line of stanza 1300 is they will kill those who try to enter the tower through the tunnel. Like fire, they will envelop them. The meaning of the fourth line is the guards, will eliminate anyone who tries to enter the tunnel to free me from the captivity in which I am. Okay, stanza 1301. Do you think that those men are the kind of warriors you have destroyed before? The meaning of the first line is that don't think that the demons are the kind of warriors you have destroyed before, because they are much stronger. The second line of stanza 1301, don't destroy me with troubles worse than the present troubles. Line number 3, if I see you dead, I will burn like straw in a flame. The meaning of the third line is that if you die during the fight against the demons, then I will burn like a straw in the flame. The fourth line is, since I am separated from you, give up on me with a heart other than a rock. The meaning of the fourth line is that because of the fact that I cannot be rescued from the captivity of the demons, so give up on me wholeheartedly. Okay, that's what NESTAN says to her beloved Tariel. Stanza 1302. My beloved, don't lament over me with such grief. The meaning of the first line of stanza 1302 is that NESTAN says to her beloved, stop grieving on me. The second line, tell me, is there another person for me with the shape of the aloe tree? The meaning of the second line is that in the second line there is an image, first of all. Tariel resembles to the aloe tree. And the meaning of the second line is that, in the poem itself, Tariel is described in the poem as very handsome knight. Okay? Line number 3 of stanza 1302. Life without you is meaningless to me, and from now on I should be full of regret. The meaning of the third line is that I cannot live without you. Line number 4, either I throw myself off the rope or stab myself with a knife. The meaning of the fourth line is that if I hear about your death, I commit suicide. stanza number 1303. Without you, the sun, your moon will fall and it will be impossible to save me. So there are two images in line 1. The first image is of Tariel that resembles to the sun, and the second image is Nestan that resembles to the moon. The meaning of the first line is that Nestan will die without her lover Tariel. The second line, with you on the other end, I will not fall nor stumble, although three suns shine near me. That is to say that many enemies are in my immediate vicinity. So the meaning of the second line is that on the other end, with you I will never fall and no one can beat me, even though that I am surrounded by enemies. Okay, so in this line there is an image. The sun's enemies resemble to the three suns. Okay, line number 3. Here I would crash down. The big rocks are very close to me. Line number 4. To you I will dedicate my soul. I may be given wings in the sky, and I will reach the company of the souls of the righteous. So the meaning of the fourth line is that Nestan says that she will dedicate her soul to her beloved Tariel, and her wish is to be given wings in order to reach the souls of the righteous. Okay? Stanza number 1304. Beseech God, maybe he will deliver me from the troubles of the world. The meaning of the first line is that Nestan asks her beloved that he pray to God in order to be saved from all of her troubles. The second line of stanza 1304 is, and from union with fire, water, earth and air. The meaning of the second line is that, and he asks her lover Tariel to pray for her that God will also save her from the union with fire, water, earth and air. Okay, line number 3, let him give me wings and I will fly, I will achieve my desire. Okay, the meaning of the line 3 is that Nestan's wish is to be given wings in order to be saved from her troubles on earth and in order to be close to the righteous. Line number 4, day and night I look at the rays of the sun flashing in splendor. So there is an image in line 4. The face of Tariel resembles to the rays of the sun. Okay, and the meaning of line 4 is that the sun wants to be rescued from her captivity and to look always at her lover's face, Tariel. Stanza number 1305. The sun is missing one of its components without you. The meaning of the first line is that Nestan tells her lover Tariel that the sun is incomplete without him. Okay? The second line of stanza 1305 is you are one of the planets of the sun and not something that the sun rejects. The meaning of the second line is that there actually, first of all, there is an image in the second line. Tariel resembles to the planets that orbits around the sun. Okay? Okay, the planets that orbits around the sun are resemble to Tariel. Okay, you are one of the planets of the sun and not something that the sun rejects. Okay. Line number 3 of stanza 1405. I will see you, I will compare you to the sun, and you will illuminate my dark heart. The meaning of line 3 is that Nestan's wish is to be rescued from her captivity, although that it is almost impossible, and then to see Tariel in order that he light her dark heart. Okay, line 4 in stanza 1305. If my life was bitter, at least my death will be sweet. The meaning of the fourth line is that the Stan wishes that at least her death would be easy after suffering so much during her life. Stanza 1306. Death is no longer severe for me because I dedicate my soul to you. The meaning of the first line is that Nestan says that even death is no longer difficult to her because she dedicates her soul to her beloved Tariel. The second line is, but I placed your love in my heart, and there it rests, and there it rested. Line number 3 in stanza 1306. When I think about parting with you, a wound is added to the existing wound. The meaning of the third line is that the Stan says that every time I think about breaking up with you, I start to suffer from feelings of depression and despair. Line number 4, don't cry, don't mourn for me, oh my beloved one. Okay, stanza number 1307. Go to the land of India, to my father, Parsedan. So, the meaning of the first line is that Nestan asks her lover Tariel to go to her father, Parsedan, who is the king of the seventh kingdom of India. The second line is surrounded by enemies on every side. The meaning of the second line is that Nestan asks Tariel to help his father to fight, to help her father, Parsedan, to fight against the enemies who surrounded and besiege his kingdom. Line number 3, comfort his heart that suffers from separation from me in old age. The meaning of the third line is that the star says to her beloved Tariel to encourage her father because he said because the star was taken captive by the demons. Think that I am crying for you with tears that cannot be dried. The meaning of the fourth line is that I shed so many tears for you that they cannot be dried. Stanza number 1308. Everything I complained against my fate, that's enough complaint. The second line, know this, that true justice always comes from the heart and enters directly into the heart of the one who hears it. Line number 3 of stanza 1308. For your sake I am ready to die and be prey for cross. The meaning of the third line is that I am even ready to die for you. Line number 4 of stanza 1308. But as long as I live, I will try and suffer enough for you too. So the meaning of the fourth line is that, but as long as I live, I will not stop crying and suffering for you, Tariel. Stanza number 1309. Know the symbol of our eternal love, the scarf, which was yours. The meaning of the first line is that the symbol of their love is the scarf that belongs to Tariel. The second line is from one end I cut the strip, oh my love. The meaning of the second line is that NESTAN cut a small piece of the scarf and attached it to the letter she sent to her beloved Tariel. Line number 3 of stanza 1309. This, that is to say the scarf, is all I have left in place of this great orb. The meaning of the third line is that the only thing that is left from their love is the scarf. Line number 4 of stanza 1309. The 7 wheels of heaven turned against us in fury. The meaning of the fourth line is that we are suffering so much because God is angry on us. Stanza number 1310. When she finished writing the letter she wrote to her lover, the second line is she cut the fringe from the above scarf. As I already said, the star cut a small piece of the scarf and attached it to the letter she sent to her beloved Tariel, showing ahead the thick and long hairs of hair made her more handsome. The meaning of the third line is that the stan's thick and long hair makes her very beautiful. Okay, the fourth line of stanza 1310. The smell that emanates from her body, which is similar to the cypress tree, reaches the hairs of her head. So there is an image in this line, the fourth line of stanza 1310. There is an image, the smell of her body resembles to the smell of the cypress tree. Okay, and the meaning of the fourth line is that the smell from her body reaches to the earth of her head. So, okay, the smell from her body reaches to the earth of her head. That's the meaning of the fourth line. So that was chapter 9 that tells about the letter that Nestan sent to her beloved Tariel from her captivity by the demons. Okay, thank you very much.